Hi, you just did an amazing action inside the walls of the COP15. So my question to you would be, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve with that?
With that, we want to send the message to the Western world or the developed nation that Africa did not come here to joyride. We came here to negotiate, and negotiate we are going to do. We are going to come out of here with a fair and binding treaty, nothing less. The fact that they are trying to use underhand methods to get the heads of government to sign a document they have already developed is not going to work, because we have uncovered their tactics, and we are going, as the civil society, as youth organizations, as indigenous peoples, people from Africa, we are going to push and support our African negotiators to make sure that they do not bow to pressure, that they continue to have the interest of the Africans at heart. We are now calling for 1 degree Celsius and not anything more than that, nothing above 1 degree, because 2 degrees ideally means suicide for Africa. Will all Africa's population go to? The 10 billion they are proposing to give to Africa for mitigation and adaptation and I don't know what, it comes with so many conditions, and also it cannot even be enough to buy coffins for the whole of Africa after we die. 10 billion is too little for our coffins, so we do not want to die, and that is why we came here to negotiate, to have a fair and binding deal for our people. When we go back, we are going to tell the farmers, this is what we went to do there, and this is what we have, to bring life and hope to these people who have lost hope, because now they experience droughts for 5 years. They cannot produce food to feed themselves, and just 5 years ago they used to have enough, and they used to have so much.
So you can already see the consequences of climate change in Africa.
Yeah, it is everywhere. Nobody needs to tell you. Even anybody who has been to Africa, who came there like 5 years ago and goes there right now, they'll be shocked. It has changed so much. Places where it was green all over, now it's almost desert-like conditions. What can you attribute that to if not climate change? That is why we want a fair and binding treaty, not a political agreement. A political agreement is not good. It is bad. And it cannot be said in any other terms. It is bad. Yeah, there are no two ways about it.
Yeah, you say you want to limit the warming to 1 degree, but what are your specific goals? Do you have any specific things you want the developed countries especially to do?
We want the developed countries specifically to commit to cut their emissions to 40% by 2020. And they should use the best level year of 1990 and not 2005, as some of them are trying to say. And we want Kyoto to continue to the second commitment period. We do not want to do away with Kyoto. As much as Kyoto may not be that great a protocol or treaty, it still has some sense of legality about it. It is binding in a way. The fact that US has not ratified the deal should not make other countries, the European countries, feel like they want to jump out of that and get something new. We can still work with that. We can have a special arrangement for the US to have their own kind of provisions to start implementing the targets of the Kyoto Protocol, but outside the Kyoto for a period, say, of 5 years, and then they can join it, and then we move the process forward. That is what we are trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about carbon trading? Do you think the developed countries have a carbon debt that should be paid back?
Yeah, ideally they do. Because, okay, I don't want to go back to colonialism and all that, exploitation of natural resources and all that, but then that is a fact we cannot discuss about it. It's a fact already. The fact that they have gone through the whole industrialization age, they have those huge factories, they are emitting so many gases into the atmosphere. So basically, I don't know, it's not something that we need to belabor here. It's so obvious. They have incurred a huge carbon debt, which they need to pay for. They have used up the airspace. Africa emits very, very little of that percentage. Most African countries do not have any carbon emissions into the atmosphere, really. It's at 0%. The highest emitter is South Africa at 0.6% or thereabouts. So you can imagine what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Is there any message you would like to get out there? Anything that you really want people to hear?
I want people to know that a fair and binding deal is the only thing that is going to ensure that Africa survives. Otherwise, we are all going to perish. And it's not only Africa. We realize what happened to when Hurricane Katrina happened. Even societies in the West are vulnerable to climate change. So why do they not want to protect themselves, to protect their own communities? Why don't they want to do that? Katrina, the effects of Katrina have not all gone away. People still remember it cost about 50 billion shillings, just in a very short period of time. So can you imagine if such tragedies continue to happen because of climate change, how much more it is going to cost us? So somehow we are all connected. I'm from Africa, but we are all connected. We share the airspace. So I can't say this airspace belongs to Africa, and so Africa will keep its airspace to itself, or it belongs to America, so America can keep it. We are all connected. We are one globe. That is why we need to come out strongly and protect our planet. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.